Hello everyone, this is Rajarshi Palit, PGT Economics of JNV Birbhum. Today we are going to discuss about the first chapter of class 10th, that is development. The learning objectives of this presentation: the students will be able to identify the various indicators of development. The students will be able to explain why some states have developed and some states have not developed. The students will be able to use Human Development Index to compare the level of development achieved by different countries. And finally, the students will be able to assess the limitation of per capita income as an indicator of development. Now let us start. For comparing the level of development achieved by different states and countries, we can take their income for the sake of comparison. So if it is a state, we can make interstate comparison with their income, or we can take the income of countries and then we can make a comparison. So common sense says higher the income, higher will be the level of development achieved. However, a state or a country's income may be high just because it is highly populated. That means a highly populated country may have a higher level of income in comparison to a country which is less populated. So, to make a comparison meaningful, we have to consider the population of the country as well. That means while calculating the income of the country, we have to incorporate the population aspect also in the income so that it becomes comparable. So herein comes the concept of per capita income. How do we get per capita income? Per capita income is the GDP of the country divided by the population of that country. That means the value of the total goods and services produced in the country divided by the population of that country. Now gross domestic product, what is that? Gross domestic product is the final value of all the goods and services produced in a country in a year, in an accounting year. So as per the World Development Report 2013, the countries with per capita income of US dollar 12,736 per annum and above are considered rich, and countries with per capita income of US dollar 1045 or less are considered low income group. So herein the aspect of population has been taken into consideration because we are talking about the per capita income. Now some more tools to measure development. Number one is infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate indicates the number of children who die before the age of 1 year as a proportion of 1000 live children in a particular year. So infant mortality rate also indicates the level of development. Higher the infant mortality rate, lower is the level of development, because the number of children dying within the age of 1 year does show that medical facilities of that country are not up to the mark. So that is why a higher level of IMR will be indicative of the fact that the country is not developed. Next comes literacy rate. It measures the proportion of literate population in the 7 and above age group. That means the number of people who are 7 years and above and are literate. So higher the literacy rate, higher will be the level of development. Lower the literacy rate, lower will be the level of development. These are some indicators in addition to the per capita income. Next is net attendance ratio. It is the total number of children of the age group 6 to 10 years attending school as a percentage of total number of children in that age group. That means it is the total number of children in the age group of 6 to 10 years who are going to school with respect to the total number of children who are there between this age group in a country. So here there is a comparison of India with global averages. The first is time required to start business in India in June 2015. In India, to start a business, it required 29 days. However, the global average is 20. Maternal mortality ratio in India is 174, global average is 216. We are doing better in this case. Stock market capitalization, India it is 76, global average is 94. In this we are lagging behind. Tax revenue collected by the government in India it is 11% of GDP, whereas the global average is 14% of the GDP. Labor force participation rate in India it is 54, global average is 63. Then nationally protected areas in India it is 3.1, the global average is 12.8. Access to improved sanitation facilities, percentage of total population in India it is 40, global average is 68. That means 40% of the people in India they enjoy improved sanitation facilities, whereas the global average is 68. Then electricity production in India it is only 1193, whereas the global average is 23,342 billion kilowatt hours. So these are some of the indicators with which we can make an assessment regarding what are the level of development that have been achieved in India and what are the things that we have to achieve. Energy use per capita kilograms of oil equivalent in 2013. In India it is 606, the global average is 1894. So this also shows that the per capita consumption of energy in India is also less than the global average. So these are some of the areas which can give you an idea regarding the areas where we are doing better than the global average and the areas where we need to improve. Now to just sum up, gross domestic product is the final value of all the goods and services produced in a country. Per capita income is the GDP of the country divided by its population. Literacy rate measures the proportion of literate population in the 7 and above age group. Infant mortality rate is also considered an important measure of development. Per capita income does not show the distribution of income and wealth on ground. Although we have taken per capita income as an indicator of economic development, but it does not show the true picture, because per capita income does not show how the income is distributed among the people of the country. It may so happen that some people of the country they may be having all the resources at their disposal, whereas the rest of the population are below the poverty line. So in that case what will happen? The per capita income may be very high, but the actual distribution of income on ground may be skewed. So some questions for your assessment. Number 1, define infant mortality rate. Why is it considered an important indicator of development? Next, what is the criteria set by the World Bank to classify countries as high income and low income countries? Next, state some of the indicators of development other than per capita income. And finally, what do you think is the main drawback of per capita income as a measure of development? So these are some of the questions. If you can answer them, you can make a self-assessment that you have understood the chapter thoroughly. So once again, I'll be suggesting you that make full use of this time, make full use of your textbook, go through the textbook properly, line by line if it is possible, because that will prepare you very good and you will be able to appear in the exam in a very prepared manner. So stay safe, and thank you.